I had like some of my own urges, like my own rebellious urges, I legit thought I was possessed. 'Cause I just feel like firstborns are mostly social experiments. Hi guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Trinity and everyone. For those of you that are just joining us and if you're just joining us for the first time, please don't make it your last time by subscribing to my YouTube channel, turning on push notification, and of course giving this video a thumbs up. But if it's not your first time, thank you for sticking with us on the channel and all of that good stuff. So babies, today we are going to talk about the rebellious phase of a human being's life. I made a video on TikTok where I was asking people that if it was completely normal to have like a rebellious phase of your life after being a responsible person for so long, and I got responses of people saying yes, it was completely normal. I'm like, okay, thank God, because at some point I was thinking that I was either becoming possessed, or I was going to have to start praying for my salvation, or something is really wrong, or last, my village people have catch me. That's exactly how I was feeling. But I had a few conversations with people, and I was told like, oh, it's practically perfectly very normal. But it based on, oh, it's very normal, especially if you've like been like a very responsible person or you've been a responsible child all your life. You want to taste a bit of that rebelliousness. So we're going to discuss it, and also we're going to be discussing like factors on why I think. Disclaimer: this is my opinion. This is all my opinion. This is not a psychological written stamped fact. Your rebellious phase can hit you at any point of your life, especially if you missed out on it during your childhood. It can hit you in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s. And here are some factors that are responsible for you missing out your rebellious phase in your childhood. First thing first, if your childhood did not allow for it, is that if you grew up in an unnecessarily strict environment. Now, there's a difference between, to me, I feel like there's a difference between an unnecessarily strict environment and a disciplined environment. There is a very sharp contrast in between. A disciplined environment which is going to let you be yourself, but with a guidance, a proper guidance to show you, oh, you can actually be yourself, but in the right way. Now, a strict environment, it restricts your airflow, it chokes you, you're not able to do anything of your own. You only have like a certain pattern that you have to follow. Anything outside of that pattern is considered rebellion. Too, if you were under some sort of pressure to just be the good child, probably you just felt that. And sometimes I can understand there's this thing where you want to be a good child to compensate your parents. I don't know how to explain it. It's more like I am a good child. I'm trying to be a good child so I can compliment or I can compensate one of my parents, especially if the marriage is some sort of like it's a bad marriage and one of your parents is suffering silently in it. So you just want to be a good child to compensate for them, to make them feel that, oh, okay, they are indeed getting something right. Thirdly, your environment. If you're under pressure from your environment to just be the good child, when I mean environment, probably like your extended family, your church, your neighborhood. If you are under pressure to be a good child and not want to express yourself, if you're in an environment where you're being judged constantly, if should you decide to step out of line, it sort of keeps you in a very conservative corner. It keeps you in check. Oh, I can't move this way. I can't move like this other part. I must follow the straight line. If the line seems like I want to deviate, I quickly retrace my footstep and continue in line. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, those are like the major factors that I think that are responsible for it. Now, why your rebellious stage will hit you. Now, a lot of people can actually go through life and even die without actually hitting or getting to experience their rebellious phase. But there are like a lot of factors that can be responsible for your rebellious phase just surfacing out of the blue. Mostly environment, like if you find yourself in an environment where people are so true to themselves, people are not afraid to express themselves, people are not afraid to do the things that they want to do, you just have this sense of awakening. You will be in a particular environment where people are doing things regardless of the odds, and then you realize that your life has been in a goddamn straight line all your life, and yeah, it's time to probably take some detours along the way. And then you wake up one morning and you suddenly have made up your mind that you want to deviate from that career path. You want to color your hair. It's something you've just discovered that, oh, I'd really like to color my hair. I'd like to get it tat. I'd like to get new piercings. Environment. Environment is like a major factor. Let's talk about victims. I feel like most victims of rebellious phase awakening are firstborns, because I just feel like those are the experiments. Those I just feel like firstborns are mostly social experiments. Like, oh, these people have never been parents before, and then you're the first person they get to experience all the anger or the discipline that they want you to have with, in the wrong measures. They don't get it right, and then they pour all of those frustrations on you and all of that and all of that and all of that, and then you turn out like this, and then by the time you realize, you're like, sometimes you realize that second born, third born, fourth born are a lot more outspoken than the first borns. Why? Because those ones, their parents started to get it right with them, or they looked at their siblings and they were like, no, I don't want to be like this girl. This girl cannot even, this girl does not even know what she wants to do with her life. Anything mommy says or anything daddy says is what she's going to do. It's not me that said it. It's not me that said it. And the thing about rebellious phase is that people who usually experience like this rebellious phase are weakling when they suddenly want to do things, or when they suddenly start developing the courage to do certain things, they usually seem out of character. It just almost feels like something is wrong with them, or that they are depressed. Now, mind you, sometimes it could be depression acting out like that. But I am not talking about depression acting out in different forms. I am talking about your rebellious phase awakening, please. So they may seem completely out of character. They may seem like something is wrong with them. They may seem like they're possessed. Like when I had like some of my own urges, like my own rebellious urges, I legit thought I was possessed. Like really possessed. Like there's some certain things I was quite so judgy about, and I realized that I was actually going to be a bit comfortable doing. I'm like, yeah, mm-mm, mm. Yeah, that's it. It usually seems like it's out of character for them, and sometimes it might actually stall them from actually doing it, because people be like, ah, but this is not the kind of person that you are. Yes, I'm not the kind of person that I am, but I want to experience it. I want to try and see it. So let them be. Sort of let them be. If you can guide them to do it in the right way, you guide them to do it in the right way. You do not come and tell them, no, you don't do this, you're too old to be doing this kind of thing. Like, but if you don't shift, if you don't shift, if you don't shift, people in their rebellious phase, people in their like rebellious phase can be a little bit confused, can be seeking help. Sometimes it comes really extreme for some people. Sometimes it just comes like some sort of feeling that they can actually ignore. But in overall, perfectly normal. I feel like in life there has to be like a certain point in your life where you're allowed to try new things, to experiment new things smartly. The word smartly, please. There are some certain things and there are some certain cravings and urges that should not be explored at all. We're not going to get into that in this video, but please use your head. I have a few advice for pre-growing up people, like growing up teens that are actually watching this video. I need you to not be in a hurry to grow up. There is nothing in adulthood that's exciting. There are a few things that are exciting, but take your time and be a child. Take your time and do the things children do. Do not be in a hurry to be a grown up. Stay in your parents' house for as long as possible because I'm telling you, your parents' house have everything you need, oh, except of course peace of mind. Hmm, that thing seems to be lacking. But do not be in a hurry to grow up, be a child, and only do your due diligence as your age, per age. Do not Do not take up responsibilities that are more than your age. Don't do it. You're going to regret it in the end. Please don't do it. I don't care what anybody says, but if you take up more responsibilities than you should at your age, at the age that you're going to regret it in the end. Take responsibility for your age, per age. New age, new responsibility. New age, don't be in a hurry to grow up. Nobody's pushing you, nobody's putting a gun to your head. Nobody's saying if you don't grow up now, the world is gonna end. The world is still gonna end regardless. So take your time. Take your goddamn time. Take it. Because if you don't take your time now, you're gonna want to try and take your time in front. And then by the time you want to take your time in front, it's gonna look extremely a bit silly. Sometimes it's gonna look silly in front or a bit out of place, or most of the time really out of place, or quite annoying for people around you when you're trying to take your time when you should have taken your time 5, 6, 7 years ago. You will understand this video when it's time for you to understand it, or you understand this particular statement when it's time for you to understand it. People that understand this know. Hmm? Don't be in a hurry. When it comes to relationship, when it comes to dating, when it comes to your career safe, when it comes to your life, take things one step at a time. Do your due diligence for your age. Now, let me clarify something. A 14-year-old trust fund kid's due diligence, it's not going to be the same thing with a 14-year-old who is from an average family. Their due diligence aren't going to be the same thing. And then those two people's due diligence is going to be completely different from a 14-year-old who is from like below average. Their due diligence are going to be completely different things. That's what I'm saying. Know your due diligence for your age and act it, please. If circumstances forces you to grow up, grow up. But if circumstances have no business forcing you to grow up and you decided to grow up, you're gonna regret in front. You're gonna regret in front. I promise you that you're going to do that. Take your time. Nobody's pushing you anywhere. Okay, I don't even know how this video is going to end. I don't know how this video is going to be going because I have been interrupted so many times. I have missed. I don't know, but I'm going to try to make sense out of this video and upload it. Please, when you see this video, as you're watching the video, engage with this video. Explain to me, tell me what it is, why, what part of growing up or what part of your rebellious stage it is that you are in and you wish you had done it as a child. Just engage with this video, okay? And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Let's not quarrel. Uh-uh. Let's try and get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. What do you think? Do you think it's possible? You think it's possible? Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share. Okay, I'll see you in my next video.